book nerds, this is Gabby, and I've not been very regular, have I? Hello fellow book nerds, welcome to another video. I know I've not been the most consistent, but I think this week or the week prior actually, hopefully you're seeing this semi when I planned for you to see it, I hopefully have gotten more consistent. I want to get back to posting once a week. Hopefully eventually grow back to 2 days a week, but once a week seems more reasonable at the moment. I learned this lesson before, but I think I had to learn it again. Summer plus new job equals no videos. Even though I've been reading, even though I've been recording, the editing, that's where I've fallen. I thought a fun way to be more consistent is to figure out what new releases are coming out so that I can chat to you about them, because I feel like that's my favorite, that's your favorite. This is why we're here, just chatting about new releases, what's good, and discovering wonderful new offers. I think I've done a video like this for every 2 months of the year so far, which means now it's time for September and October, and I am very aware that September has passed, so this will be more, hey, FYI, these awesome books already came out in September, so you don't even need to wait. You can just like jump right in, go read them. You don't even have to like worry about it, which is kind of awesome, kind of fun. And then we're also gonna talk about October releases, those that are still coming out and those that I have my eye on, and you can bet your ass there's gonna be loads of videos coming out with these books, because some of my most anticipated releases happen in the last 2-3 months, which is just the worst timing because I planned like doing a video about every single one, and now I think we're just gonna have to have a video for all my October exciting releases, and probably we'll talk about September ones at some point as well. Without further ado, let's just kick it off, talk about September releases that you missed out on, hopefully. And if not, let me know in the comments. Did you read them already? What did you think about them? Let me know. Okay, so number one is either Rouge or Rogue. I'm not actually sure, by Mona Awad. So this one's a gothic horror adult, and it's coming out on 12th of September. And I believe that this is by the author of Bunny and All's Well, which I've not read either of those, but as a big Books and Lala fan, I'm aware of both. So this is what the book is about. For as long as she can remember, Belle has been insidiously obsessed with her skin and skincare videos. When her estranged mother, Noelle, mysteriously dies, Belle finds herself back in Southern California, dealing with her mother's considerable debts and grappling with lingering questions about her death. The stakes escalate when a strange woman in red appears at the funeral, offering a tantalizing clue about her mother's demise, followed by a cryptic video about a transformative spa experience. With the help of a pair of red shoes, Belle is lured into a barbed embrace of La Maison de Méduse, the same lavish, culty spa to which her mother was devoted. There, Belle discovers the frightening secret behind her and her mother's obsession with the mirror, and the great shimmering depths and demons that lurk on the other side of the glass. First of all, that sounds amazing. And then this is like the pitch. Snow White meets Eyes Wide Shut in the surreal descent into the dark side of beauty, envy, grief, and the complicated love between mothers and daughters. Snow White meets Eyes Wide Shut sounds so incredibly unhinged. I need my little grabby hands on this book. Also, gothic horror, my favorite horror. Okay, then we have another really exciting one, which is Mammoths at the Gates by Nghi. So this is adult queer fantasy coming out on September 12th. And I think the series that this is a part of is called the Singing Hills Cycle. But if you heard of books such as When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain, or probably Empress of Salt and Fortune. This is the same series. It's like a short story, maybe more of a novella, and we follow this cleric as they go around the country and collect stories and their role is to write down all of these stories and share them. But kind of as we go with the books, the stories kind of become more about the cleric, or the cleric becomes more involved in the stories rather than it being just a recount of history. So I feel like each of these books has like a moral and it's trying to teach you something, and it's all done in the super mature, really interesting way. I cannot wait to read Mammoths at the Gate. It's my next audiobook I'm picking up. It's on Scribd in the UK at least. I've consumed all of these as audiobooks. The narrator does a really good job in really like immersing you in the story. I really love it. So yeah, check it out on Scribd if you want. That one is already out and I'm really excited to pick it up. Another favorite author of mine, A Study in Drowning by Reid. So this is YA Gothic fantasy coming out on 19th September, and it's the first YA from the author, but the author already wrote a couple of books, including Juniper and Thorn, as well as The Wolf and the Huntsman, and they're both adult and really dark, and both like one of my favorite books. Like I really loved both, and I think they always touch on really interesting dark themes. They really examine abuse and self-harm and hatred and things like that. It's by a Jewish / Hungarian author, I think, and they're always really interesting. So I'm curious to see what the YA is like. I will say I'm slightly less excited than I would be if this was an adult book, just because I've been gravitating away from a YA, but I'm still open to be pleasantly surprised. And also I think the author, it's always like good to branch out and try new things, so I'm excited. But this is the synopsis. Effie's sire has always believed in fairy tales. She'd had no choice. Since childhood, she's been haunted by visions of the Fairy King. She found solace only in the pages of Angharad, author Emrys Miride's beloved epic about a mortal girl who falls in love with the Fairy King and then destroys him. Effie's tattered, dog-eared copy is all that's keeping her afloat through her stifling first term at Lure's prestigious architecture college. So when Miride's family announces a contest to design the late author's house, Effie feels certain this is her destiny. But Hireth Manor is an impossible task, a musty, decrepit estate on the brink of crumbling into a hungry sea. And when Effie arrives, she finds she isn't the only one who's made a temporary home here. Preston Hillary, a stodgy young literature scholar, is studying Miride's papers and is determined to prove her favorite author is a fraud. As the two rival students investigate the reclusive author's legacy, piecing together clues through his letters, books, and diaries, they discover that the house's foundation isn't the only thing that can't be trusted. There are dark forces, both mortal and magical, conspiring against them, and the truth may bring them both to ruin. Very dramatic, we love it. And then an exciting sequel for me at least, is Foul Heart's Huntsman by Chloe Gong. So this is a historical YA fantasy coming out on 26th of September, and it's the sequel to Foul Lady Fortune, which is a spin-off to These Violent Delights, which is a series by Chloe Gong that's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet set in 1920s Shanghai. And this one is a spin-off about a character that has immortality, and she's a spy in like 1920s Hong Kong, where the nationalists are fighting with communists. And first book was really good, really fast-paced, fun, and ended on a big cliffhanger, and I'm super excited to read that one. It's coming out the day that I'm filming this video, which is 26th of October. So I'm like gonna be in my libraries, be like, hey, you up? I want this book so bad. The first book was so good, and just Chloe Gong is amazing, so I'll read anything she writes. Now we're on to October. So I only had 4 books in September because I thought they already came out, and there were so many amazing books in October that we can look forward to that are coming out soon, that I wanted to make sure I mention all of them. And we're starting with a bang because this is one of my favorite authors. I am just so excited for this release. It's Starling House by Alix E. Harrow, which is adult gothic horror fantasy, and it's coming out on 3rd of October. I already have my pre-order, so you know I'm ready. But if you don't know Alix E. Harrow, she's the author of 10,000 Doors of January. I loved this book when I first read it. It's been a couple of years, but I need to reread it. First of all, it's gorgeous. And second of all, the inside of it is also gorgeous. She also wrote Spindle Splintered and Once and Future Witches. So these are all releases by the author, and I really like this one. I wasn't such a big fan of the Spindle Splintered, but that doesn't really matter. I will read this author's work no matter what, and I'm so excited that it's adult, gothic, horror, fantasy. Can you have more like keywords in terms of genres that would talk to me as a person on an individual level? I don't think you can. I mean, this is as good as it gets. So I'm so excited, and this is the synopsis. Starling House is odd and ugly and full of secrets, just like its heir. Opal knows better than to mess with haunted houses or brooding men, but it might be a chance to get her brother out of Eden. And it feels dangerously like something she's never had. A home. But she isn't the only one interested in the house, or the horrors and wonders that lie beneath it. If Opal wants a home, she'll have to fight for it. She'll have to dig up her family's dark past and let herself dream of a brighter future. She'll have to go down into the underland and claw her way back to the light. Oh, I feel like we know nothing. We know there's gonna be a creepy house. We know there's gonna be the underworld. And we know it's gonna be Alix E. Harrow, so I'm probably gonna love it. So I'm so excited. I cannot wait for my copy. It looks so pretty. It's just so happy. Then another beloved author. I'm winning. I'm winning, guys. I just keep winning. And the thing is, I feel like I've been winning because I found all these awesome authors and now they're coming out with their second, third, fourth book. But I need to find amazing new authors so that this keeps happening to me. So I feel like maybe these lists are too filled with authors I know. But then I can't not be excited because it's my favorite authors. The dilemmas. The book that I'm ranting about is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. So this one's coming out on 3rd of October. It's an adult mystery thriller / horror. And if you don't know Ashley Winstead, she's the author of books like In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which I still can't believe I don't have a physical copy of. That's a criminal offense. And also The Last Housewife, so she specializes in thrillers, but I'm really excited that this one's like maybe a little bit of a horror. Its little pitch, it says it's for fans of Verity and A Flicker in the Dark. And I did like Verity, and I've never read or heard of A Flicker in the Dark, but I'm still excited. This is a twisted tale of murder, obsessive love, and the beastly urges that lie dormant within us all, even in the God-fearing fog of Bottom Springs, Louisiana. In her small hometown, librarian Ruth Corner has always felt like an outsider, even as her beloved father rains fire and brimstone warnings from the pulpit at Holy Fire Baptist. Unfortunately for Ruth, the only things that the townspeople fear more than the god and the devil are the myths that haunt the area, like the story of the Low Man, a vampiric figure said to steal into sinners' bedrooms and kill them on moonless nights. When a skull is found deep in the swamp next to mysterious carved symbols, Bottom Springs is thrown into an uproar. And Ruth realizes that only she and Everett, an old friend with a dark past, have the power to calm the town's secret underbelly in search of true evil. Sounds very mysterious, maybe slightly paranormal. That author never dabbled in paranormal much, but I'm excited and I think it's just gonna be so good. Next book is also by an author who I have read something from, and I thought it was okay, but the cover of this new thing, it just like captured my imagination and I couldn't not read it. It's called The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker. It's a YA historical fantasy coming out on 3rd of October. So everything's 3rd of October. That's going to be fun for me to catch up on everything. But the author wrote The Keeper of Night, if you've heard of that series, which again, I've enjoyed but didn't love. So I'm curious because the cover of this, it just looks divine. So this is the synopsis. Zillion dreams of becoming a royal alchemist, of providing for her family by making alchemical gold and gems for the wealthy to eat in order to stay young forever. But for now, she's trapped in her impoverished village in southern China, practicing an illegal form of alchemy to keep food on the table, resurrecting the dead for a prize. When Zilan finally has the chance to complete her imperial exams, she ventures to the capital to compete against the best alchemists in the country in tasks she'll be lucky to survive, let alone pass. On top of that, her reputation for raising the dead has followed her to the capital, and the crown prince himself seeks out her help, suspecting a coming assassination attempt. The more Zilan succeeds in her alchemy, the more she gets caught up in the dangerous political games of the royal family. There are monsters lurking within the palace walls, and it's only a matter of time before they and secrets of Zilan's past catch up with her. Sounds good. I feel like it's such a genre of like going for the imperial exam and competing in a contest in imperial China. Like, I feel like that's like a really big thing, but you know what? If it works, I mean, we have the magic steeped in poison, we have Spin the Dawn, we have the Poppy War. I mean, the imperial exams are popular. But yeah, this one sounds really good, and I feel like it's gonna be fun. And now for a new release from an author I've never read from, and I just was fascinated by the cover and the synopsis. So this one's called The Jinn-Bot of Shantiport by Samit Basu. So this is an adult sci-fi dystopia and also coming out on 3rd of October. I've been really getting into like sci-fi, especially of dystopians, and I felt like this sounded like fun. So this is the synopsis. Shantiport was supposed to be a gateway to the stars. But the city is sinking, and its colonists, rulers, aren't helping anyone but themselves. Lena, a daughter of failed revolutionaries, has no desire to escape Shantiport. She loves her city and would do anything to save its people. This is, in fact, the plan for her life, maybe before she was even born. Her brother, Bador, is a small monkey bot with a big attitude and bigger ambitions. He wants a chance to leave this dead-end planet and explore the universe on his own terms. But that would mean abandoning the family he loves, even if they do take him for granted. When Shantiport's resident tech billionaire coerces Lena into retrieving a powerful artifact, rumored to be able to reshape reality, forces from before their time begin coalescing around the siblings. And when you throw in a piece of sentient, off-world tech with the ability to grant 3 wishes into the mix, none of the city's powers will know what hit them. Alright, another release from an author who I want more from. This is Last to Leave the Room by Starling. This is an adult queer horror sci-fi and it's coming out on 10th of October. So Starling is the author of The Death of Jane Lawrence, which I thought had like the most like the delicious setup and didn't quite deliver at the ending. So I'm just like hoping, because I want the author to like really take me there through the whole book, just ended perfectly. So I'm reading and I'm waiting and I want it. So this is the synopsis of the newest one. The city of San Sirocco is sinking. I think sinking is in everyone's minds. The city of San Sirocco is sinking. The basement of Dr. Tasman Rivers, the arrogant, selfish head of the research team assigned to find the source of the subsidians, is sinking faster. As Tamsin grows obsessed with the distorting dimensions of the room at the bottom of the stairs, she finds a door that didn't exist before, and one night it opens to reveal an exact physical copy of her. This doppelganger is sweet and biddable, where Tamsin is calculating and cruel. It appears fully, terribly human, passing every test Tamsin can devise. But the longer the double exists, the more Tamsin begins to forget pieces of her life, to lose track of time, to grow terrified of the outside world. As her employer grows increasingly suspicious, Tamsin must try to hold herself together long enough to figure out what her double wants from her and just where the mysterious door leads. You know what? I love how ambiguously creepy that is. I really like that. Next up is a big release, at least I feel like in my nook of booktube. It's a pretty big deal. Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. So this is Cassandra Clare's adult fantasy debut. So if you don't know who Cassandra Clare is, she's the author of the Shadowhunter books, and this is the first adult and outside of Shadowhunter's books she released in a long time. Has she ever released anything that's Shadowhunters? Maybe, but not that I know or read. So I'm excited for this one. It's coming out on 10th of October, and this is the synopsis. In the vibrant city-state of Castellan, the richest of nobles and the most debauched of criminals have one thing in common: the constant search for wealth, power, and the next hedonistic thrill. Kel is an orphan, stolen from the life he knew to become the sword catcher, the body double of a royal heir, Prince Connor Aurelian. He has been raised alongside the prince, trained in every aspect of combat and statecraft. He and Connor are as close as brothers. But Kel knows he has one destiny: to die for Connor. No other future is possible. Lancaster is one of the Ashkar, a small community who still possesses magical abilities. By the law, they must live behind walls in the city, but Lynn, a physician, ventures out to tend to the sick and dying of Castellan. Despite her skills, she cannot heal her best friend, Mariam, without access to forbidden knowledge. After a failed assassination attempt brings Lynn and Kel together, they are drawn into a web of the mysterious Ragpicker King, the criminal ruler of Castellan's underworld. He offers them each what they want most. But as they descend into his world of intrigue and shadow, they discover a conspiracy of corruption that reaches from the darkest gutters of Castellan to the highest tower of its palaces. As long-kept secrets begin to unravel, they must ask themselves, is knowledge worth the price of betrayal? Can forbidden love bring down a kingdom? And will Lynn and Kel's discoveries plunge their nation into war and the world into chaos? Interesting to see what will be adult about it. That sounds like a slightly YA synopsis to me, but I don't want to judge. I'm going completely open-minded. I'm thinking either we're going to have a vlog or a spoiler-filled and spoiler-free review, because I want to talk about that book so bad once it comes out. I'm sure there's going to be lots of topics of discussions. Or maybe it'll be boring, there'll be nothing to talk about. No, that would be really, really sad. That would be really probably the worst. All right, time for a last book that I am looking forward to in October. This is an exciting release. It's called Wrath Becomes Her by Aden Polydoros. This is a YA historical fantasy horror, and it's coming out on 10th of October. Aden Polydoros is the author of The City Beautiful. They're a Jewish author, and City Beautiful is really good, so I'm excited for this one because the cover is just so catching for your imagination. And this is the synopsis. Vera was made for vengeance. Lithuania, 1943. A father drowns in the all-consuming grief of a daughter killed by the Nazis. He can't bring Chaya back from the dead, but he can use Kishuf, ancient and profane magic, to create a golem in her image, a Nazi killer, to avenge her death. When Vera awakens, she can feel her violent purpose framing within her. But she can also feel glimpses of a human life lived, of stolen kisses amidst the tragedy, of a grisly death. And when she meets Akiva, she recognizes the boy with soft lips that gave warm kisses. But these memories aren't hers, and Vera doesn't know if she gets or deserves to have a life beyond what she was made for. Vera's strength feels limitless until she learns that there are others who would channel Kishuf for means far less noble than avenging a daughter's death. As she confronts the very basest, I'm assuming something bad, of humanity, Vera will need more than her creator gave. Not just a reason to fight, but a reason to live. Dum dum dum! Sounds interesting. You guessed it. I always say the same thing. That's true. But I'm excited. I'm invested. I'm gonna read all of these. I just know because all of them are like so anticipated. Follow my channel to find out which ones I'm gonna review. I've not filmed a video in ages, and now for talking so long my head hurts. So that's fun. I need to like build back my stamina. I can do this. I also hurt my jaw. I'm a mess. Whatever. Let me know which books you're excited about. Let me know which ones you already read from September. What's on your September TBR? What's on your October TBR? What's your November TBR? Like, are any of these books in your near future? Let me know. Let me know if you're particularly interested in any of these, and I will review them for you. But that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for being gone for such a long time, and I'll see you in my next one.